Hey, what's up everyone, the Erraticadex here, bringing to you my thoughts and opinions on Rematch. Now this game has just come out, as I am quote recording this, and I need want to give my thoughts and opinions on this game. I just wanted to point out that I give a review 1 to 2 weeks to get my full-fledged opinion on things, and I'll be going through the good shits and the bad shits that Rematch has to offer. Without further ado, let us begin. Now, Rematch is kind of like a futuristic galactical five-a-side football game. Kind of like similar to Galactic Football if you haven't watched that show. And basically, games kind of similar to this game is kind of similar to that being of Rocket League, FIFA, and also FIFA Street as well. And it's also made by the same people that made Sifu, that I did do a Let's Play on that game. If it's still up on my channel, I wouldn't probably recommend checking it out. Basically, the aim of the game is simple if you haven't played football before. Basically, your aim of the game is to basically score as many goals as your opponent can, or basically score 4 more goals ahead of the opponent to guarantee the mercy rule. You can play up to 5v5, or 4v4, or 3v3. And that is everything regarding the game as such. So without further ado, let us now move on to the good shits and the bad shits about this game. Starting off with the good shits, I basically will hand it to them on how smooth and fast-paced the game is, to where basically enough it makes you feel like you're actually playing an actual five-a-side football game. That's it, if you played it as such. To where basically enough you can play any position that you want to, regardless if you want to be a forward, or a defender, or a goalkeeper. Like heck, even the goalkeeper can even leave the comfort of his own net. He ain't retracted to just the goal himself if he wants to. He can go and do a Ricardo Espados if he feels like it. And even the fact being that you can even use the backboards as such is basically an easy way to pass back or pass it back to an opponent as such. And also you can basically swap out a goalkeeper midway in the match, depending, however, if the goalkeeper basically wants to be swapped out as such. Also, another good thing I would actually want to add to is their prices on nearly enough their premium currency, which I'll end up giving my hands down to and basically give it an R8. And basically, it's not like a whale pack like other companies do. I'm looking at you 2K. And sadly enough, this is everything I got to say about the good shits. So, now let's move on now to the bad shits. Starting off with the bad shits, I'm starting off first with the Battle Pass. And you should know by now if you've watched most of my reviews, I'm not really a big fan of most Battle Passes as such. Now for this Battle Pass, I'll give it basically a meh on how basically it is really done and that, as well as the shit that is in it. But the one thing I've got to basically say that is kind of like off-putting is on how basically it's done. For instance, where they have 3 tiers to this, the preseason and the championship, but once basically you've unlocked everything on the first bit, you've got to wait a set amount of days just to get to unlock everything else on the other one. And when you've finished off that bit or get to the end of that bit, you've got to wait even another set amount of days in order to get to championship rank too. Which basically makes nah bloody sense, if I'm being honest, because it's like, why do that? Why add that shit in? Because basically enough, when the next shit comes out, I may already have, like, a lot of tokens or shit in order to just unlock everything. And now I have to basically wait another set amount of days just to unlock everything on that. As such. Which brings me to my other bad shit, which I've got to say, which is the store. It's bland and basically lackluster. The prices, I'll give an okay to the prices. It's RE as such, but all it just is 4 items in one bundle at the moment. And I do hope in the future that they do add more to that as well. And my final bit to point out on the bad shits is the bugs. Now, as I say, the game has just come out, and I have found a fair share of bugs. Some bugs being, for the fact being, where the ball I save ends up apparently going in the back of the net for some odd reason, which basically makes no peeking sense on why. Another glitch I found is where the ball hits off the post and it also counts as a goal, which again, I don't understand why that is. And sometimes the ball sometimes gets stuck into place and people basically crowd around it, and basically it happens at the worst possible times, and it gets unstuck at also the worst possible times as well, where it's happened to me twice when I've played ranked as such. And that is basically everything I've got to say regarding the bad shits. Which brings me to my verdict about this game. And that is this game good? I'm gonna have to say it's okay. Now, I'm gonna give this an okay for a while, but I do have a bit of a worrying doubt about this game on how basically little to no stuff is in the game thus far. But I do hope that they add in some things in the future. Some things being such as being able to make a custom club, uh, as as such, as well as also being able to make your own custom training mode too, kind of like similar to Overwatch's custom games, and where you can actually post these custom training modes up on the screen, and everyone can basically enough download your training montage thing and see if it's actually good for them to actually help them improve on this game as well. And also, I hope basically they add in other future bundles or collabs as well, because I know they've done one with Ronaldinho, which got my Brazilian friend Cosmic up and joy on. And if they add in collabs such as with like Galactic Football or Captain Tazabaya or fucking Blue Lock, I'd say that would be fucking amazing as well. And I know that there's also bugs and glitches as well, which kind of tear me off a bit on this. But like I say, bugs and glitches can be fixed depending on how basically the developers care about this game. And I do hope the developers can actually prove me wrong on this game as well. So here's hoping to that. But what do you think? Do you agree with my decisions? Do you disagree with my decisions? Or how else do you basically review this here game? I would love to hear your opinions in the comments below. That being said though, if this review was any helpful to you, be sure to leave a like. If you didn't, then don't. I'm gonna give a rat's ass. However, if you are interested in joining the Rat Kingdom in any way, shape or form, a link to our Discord server is in the description below. But without that being said, I hope this review is helpful, and as always, peace. DX is out.